At the southern tip of Africa exists a vibrant Muslim community of over 1 million. They've experienced colonialism, slavery, political upheaval, and many other challenges. But still, they have remained steadfast over the years, and as Hassan Syria reports, the community is thriving. But they owe their strong foundations to those early Muslims who arrived at the Cape of Good Hope over 300 years ago.
The Muslim community of South Africa is diverse with different backgrounds. The earliest recorded establishment of the Islamic faith here dates back to around 1650. Brought in as political exiles and slaves from the Indonesian archipelago, including Malaysia, the idea was to isolate these leaders who had resisted Dutch colonialism back home.
The greatest mistake that the Dutch made is when they decided to post off those people whom we call the Orang Kayan, people of political and economic influence like Sheikh Yusuf, Tuan Guru, and some of the other great people who are buried there on Robben Island and some at Constantia. When they came to the Cape, it changed the whole landscape totally. In this sense, that with them they brought Islam.
Slaves were brought here for two reasons. One reason was that they were brought here for their skills and crafts. They were found dealing their spices with anyone other than Dutch. So they were sent here as exiles, sold off into slavery to do the skills and crafts that was needed by the Dutch at the Cape. The other form of people that were brought here was brought here as religious exiles. If they found you preaching and propagating the religion in any other colony, they would exile you to the Cape and imprison you on Robben Island.
One such individual was Tuan Guru. He lays buried on the slopes above the Cape Town city centre. Tuan Guru is seen as the father of Islam at the Cape, having led the first Muslim Friday congregational prayers in Ekwari and establishing the first madrasa or Islamic school here. This is Bukap, the area where the Muslims first established themselves, and this area is interspersed with a number of mosques. This here is the Awal Mosque, deriving its name from the Arabic word Awal, which means first. This quite literally is the very first mosque that was established way back in the 1790s. Inside it holds a Quran handwritten from memory by Tuan Guru while on Robben Island. The practicing of Islam in secret during those early days was viewed as a continued opposition to the increasing Dutch missionary work at the Cape, which sought to introduce Christianity to the indigenous people. But while Christianity was being preached in the context of colonialism, Islam offered a fresh alternative.
The imams at the Cape allowed free men, they call them the Vryzwarten, free blacks. They allowed them to marry slaves. And through that, Islamic families could be established, though not recognized by law here in the colony. But family life was allowed to become a reality here at the Cape because of Islam. In addition, Islam brought dignity to man, which the system of slavery, which is in fact, it's oppressive, it's humiliating, Islam came to alleviate all that.
By adhering to its core values, Islam thrived, and in less than 100 years, 1/3 of the population at the Cape was Muslim. In recent decades, the Muslim community has been working to document their history and re-establish links to their homeland. One such person is Zainab Patty Davidson, who runs a little community museum in Simonstown. She says most of the information and props were brought in by families whose heritage date back centuries.
I find great satisfaction in when people come here, and like this young man that was here a few minutes ago, he brought his cousin to come and see where he comes from, his roots. And I mean, he said there, come, I want to show you my family. This is where we come from. That's my uncle, that's my mother, that's my father, and a lot of them, I can trace back their family and show them photographs of their forefathers up to 7 generations ago.
An enduring legacy of those early Muslims is the traditions which still exist here, such as the Thursday night devotional prayers, the celebration of the Prophet Muhammad's birthday, the wedding ceremonies and the cuisine. Testament to the early Muslim sacrifices is also manifested by the dozens of shrines which dot the Cape landscape. Known for their skills, from builders to carpenters to artisans, dressmakers and tailors, some argue it is the Muslim craftsmen who not only influenced development but really built the Cape. In its over 300-year history here, Muslims have flourished, and even though still a minority, today they play an influential role in education, business and politics, among others. As for the traditions and culture, they remain alive and well, even though with the passage of time they may have changed and adapted. As for Islam, it remains firmly rooted. Hassan Syria, Press TV, Cape Town.